2024 Sports in Review Year of the Woman went from wave to tsunami. At first, it was a wave. Then it turned into a tsunami. Now the increase in popularity and exposure is everywhere in women's sports, in large part thanks to Caitlin Clark. Clark turned the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament title game into a more popular watch this year than its men's counterpart, 18.9 million viewers to 14.8, while playing for Iowa, and as a member of the Indiana Fever, single-handedly pushed the WNBA into the sport's mainstream. But Clark is not the only one responsible for this movement. Many more, athletes and executives have contributed to 2024 being the year of the woman in sports. Deloitte has predicted that this year women's elite sports will surpass $1 billion in global revenues for the first time, generating $1.28 billion. We have seen exceptional growth in women's sport across the globe, driving a significant uplift in its commercial value, which in turn has led to growing interest from investors, said Jennifer Haskell, Insights lead for Deloitte's Sports Business Group. The growth in popularity and interest in women's sports heads our list of things we love to see about 2024 when it comes to sports. Caitlin Clark, Shohei Ohtani, Simone Biles among athletes that dominated the year. This year brought us many memorable sports moments. We saw Iowa basketball sensation Caitlin Clark become the NCAA's all-time leading scorer among both women and men. We witnessed Olympic gymnast Simone Biles reclaim her crown at the Paris Games, and we watched the Los Angeles Dodgers' newest star Shohei Ohtani create a league of his own after amassing 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in one season. More on that later. As we count down the final days of 2024, it's time to reflect on the athletes that brought fans joy with their superhuman displays of athleticism and awe-inspiring performances. Here's 5 athletes that defined the year in no particular order. Caitlin Clark. What didn't Clark do in 2024? All eyes were on the Iowa superstar as she chased down and surpassed Pete Maravich's scoring record, becoming the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, male or female. Clark led the Hokies to their second consecutive national championship game, and although the Hokies lost to the South Carolina Gamecocks, her collegiate legacy was already cemented. She left Iowa with the most career points, 3,951, and career three-pointers, 548. And it was no surprise that Clark was drafted by the Indiana Fever with the No. 1 overall pick. Clark went on to win Rookie of the Year, averaging 19.2 points, a league-high 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. She led the Fever to their best record 2020 and first playoff appearance since 2016. Hickey. Women dominated the sports news landscape in 2024, from the debut of the Professional Women's Hockey League in January, to Caitlin Clark's impact on college and professional basketball, to the heroics of Summer McIntosh and Simone Biles at the Paris Olympics. Women dominated the sports news in 2024. The best women's hockey players in the world got a league of their own when the Mark Walter Group, the owner of the World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers, established the PWHL with franchises in Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, New York, Boston, and Minneapolis. With solid financial footing and professional management, the league hired 100 people for the front office operations. The PWHL was off and running. Attendance was solid, and the league attracted a string of high-profile sponsors, including Canadian Tire, Air Canada, Hyundai, Molson, Scotiabank, Gatorade, and Barbie. I was the guest of my daughter Kathleen and granddaughter Ains. They are Toronto season ticket holders when Toronto and Montreal attracted a record 19,281 fans to Scotiabank Arena for the Battle on Bay Street. In all my years of covering hockey, I never experienced a Toronto crowd as engaged as it was that afternoon. The record didn't last long. A few weeks later, there were 21,105 fans at the Bell Centre to watch Toronto and Montreal in the duel at the top. The challenge will be to build on the first season, and the PWHL is off to a good start. The teams have added names and logos, and there is expanded TV coverage. The Montreal Victoire has moved from the 3,000-seat Verdun Auditorium to Place Bell, which offers more than 10,000 seats. The Toronto Raptors have relocated from the 2,500-seat Mattamy Athletic Center to the Coca-Cola Coliseum with room for about 8,500 fans. It was the summer of summer in Paris, as the 17-year-old Macintosh won 3 gold medals and a silver in swimming. She also won the Northern Star Award as Canada's top athlete. World Aquatics honored her as the Women's Swimmer of the Year.